right, here we are again. Greetings everybody, this is Red on VFR, and this is proper off-roading right there. It's a gravel road with some sand. I know there's some guys doing, actually playing golf, disc golf, something like that. Yeah, those things. I used to play that too. This is Honda CM400. Actually, those are not off-road tires, so I should be very careful. Using second gear, sitting at about 15 miles an hour, sitting at 3,000 RPM. So as I said, it's a bit of a screamer. It's not that it's a terrible thing, but you know, it doesn't work any other way around. As far as the turn signal, there's a little caveat. You know, you can turn, so just by clicking it to the left, say I'm turning to the left, and to return it in the middle, you have to actually turn it or return it to the middle, because there is no clicking action to it. It's not like a switch. Well, it is a switch. It's a switch. Here you go. Oh. In the middle, and the indicator goes off. There you go, off we go. So as you can tell, you can see quite a bit behind me, and I like it. I like how the mirrors are set up. It's not too far from the grips. Actually, that's the fifth gear. 4,000 RPM. You should expect about 38 miles an hour. Very nice ride. So I had full tank of gas, and now I am at mile number 20. Actually, someone is sitting behind me. I'm going way too slow. 27 miles to this park. Very nice park. I should be turning to 13th Street, I think, to go to Highway 5. Yeah, this is the second time I am here, so I don't really navigate here too well, but I'm sure it's more or less a major road. It picks up the speed fine. So 6,000 RPM, I'm sitting at about 55 miles an hour, just like I said before. It's a comfortable speed, there is no shaking. You should expect a little bit of a shake to the bike, because it's a two-cylinder bike. There is no, not quite stability, but no smoothness to it. It's fairly smooth bike, but nothing too like exquisite like a V4 on my VFR. VFR is just something else. Alright, 34th Street, I think. I will need, what do I need? Oh yeah, okay, I know where I'm going. Actually, engine braking is pretty nice. And you can lean this bike simply because the foot pegs are quite high. Oh, this is so much fun. That's hilarious. Yeah, this bike gives me a lot more smiles, because you can push this thing to the limit and not to be afraid to be killed. What else is new? So those clamps that I mentioned before, they are not standard. I had to replace them because the stock ones were, I think one of them was damaged. So it wasn't bolted on the bottom, so only one of them was kind of barely holding it. Okay, yeah, that should be to the left somewhere. Yep. Last time when I was at this park, I took another road, and I'm not sure why I'm going this way. Here we go. Ah, come on, first gear. Blah. Floor it. Woo-hoo! Yeah, this thing revs. Pretty nice. So highway pegs are there. Yeah, if you have long legs, expect them to be bent. Oh wow, that's a Viper. Jesus Christ. I haven't seen those things in a long while. I love Vipers. Let's see what else is going on. The brake fluid container is here. As I said, I bled it. Always, whenever I get the bike, I have to bleed the whole thing because no one did it. No one takes care of them bikes. And I honestly don't know why. The choke is here. To drop the odometer is right here. Oh, here you go. Actually, I'm using the turn signal. See, I'm a noob. I forgot to turn it off. Cruising very comfortably at 55. This bike will do, I think, the top speed about 93 miles an hour, actually, depending how much you weigh too, because this bike is about 340-ish pounds. Obviously, with added mods or options, I should say, you get about maybe like 20 more pounds, give or take, depending how much you put on there. What this bike is lacking is the windshield. I have the windshield that I prepared for my CB750 custom that I didn't build yet, and I already bought it because it was so much quieter and cooler with the windshield in front of you, especially when it's new, because it's clear, you can see right through it. This bike would benefit from it, because you would have so much comfort with this bike. But it is a very comfortable bike. I am with a great pleasure, use the back seat rest. You can, if you have someone is sitting behind me, if you have a passenger, you can adjust it to the passenger, but it is adjusted to the rider right now, which is amazing. Absolutely love it. So you're just cruising like a boss. That's what I want for my CB750. I'm not sure if they're made or not for 750s, but I'll try to research. If not, maybe I'll custom make it or turn like an already existing one into something that fits the 750. But in any case, this is a 400K, and the seat, the backrest is on this bike. As I mentioned before, there are a few variations to that bike. The E, which was like, I think it's a budget version of it. The drum brakes are in the front too, the spoke wheels. There is no tachometer on the E, even though it's a manual. There is an A variation of it, which is almost identical, but without the tachometer. You have like a 1 and 2 and neutral, I think, indicators. So there's no tachometer, but 2 gears. And I think this one is like for not a brake, but like a handbrake. Not a handbrake, but the emergency brake. I don't know how to operate that. I didn't have the bike. To try it, but it would be nice to try it. So let's see actually how fast it goes here while no one sees me. I know it goes 70. My mirrors vibrate like crazy. There's 70. Actually, I'm not pushing it too hard. Well, actually, I'm not pushing it to like 100%, but it does 70 pretty alright. But you will be seeing like 7,075 or even 8,000 RPM. So kind of getting close to the limit. And you know, as I mentioned before, that it all depends. Well, not all depends. Some of it depends on your weight. I weighed about 185. So if you're 150, 140, you'll pick up a lot more speed, and you'll be a lot quicker than me on this bike. Very comfortable ride, extremely comfortable ride, I should say. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. Actually, I had a lot more thumbs up on this bike than I had on any of my VFRs. Because the VFR it just looks like a crotch rocket. This looks like a classic bike. Even Harley Davidson like owners wave at me simply because they don't know what it is, and it looks like a regular classic motorcycle. You just never know what it is. It could be a Harley Davidson, like a Sportster, you know, the smaller type of bike. Yeah, this weather and this bike are just suitable. Very flickable bike, very light. Let's toss it around a little bit. The tires are warm. Oh yeah, boy. A little bit of a long throw to the clutch. Obviously it can be adjusted, but for me, I just had to get used to it. Maybe 10 minutes and I was pretty fluent. Amazing bike. So I'm glad that I purchased the bike and I was able to restore it. I knew there was a lot more potential. Wow, a helicopter! Back to the chopper. I knew there was potential to it, and there you go. It rides very well. The only thing that I know that is not amazing, but it still works just fine, is the tachometer. So you see, I'm cruising at 2,000 on idle. You know, the idle should be at about 12,000 plus minus 1,000, I think, or not 1,000, obviously 100. So 12 to 1,400 RPM. This is where it should be idling. This bike idles higher, as it is indicated. However, it's not quite true. It's actually idling at about 1,400. The reason why it shows that high of an RPM at idle, well, actually 2,000 is not that terribly high, but is because look at that. See, when you go on bumps, it just goes everywhere. So it's not as informative as it should have been, but it's not bad. It's not gonna be affecting your ride whatsoever, especially if you ride this bike for a while. You just don't look at it, you just feel it. So I don't care what's happening to the tachometer. So the last time I checked, I think I got about 40 miles per gallon when I rode it to... No, it wasn't work. I think I had 42 miles. I don't remember where I rode. Don't quote me on that. Alright, I need the middle lane here. But I put about 1.2 gallons in the bike. Obviously the bike idled a little bit, you know, because I was like adjusting stuff and running it without riding it, so that I could perfect it. But you could expect pretty good, like 40 mpg easy, you know, which is pretty nice. And if you can tell, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, whenever you get up to speed, mirrors vibrate. So what does it do, or how does it affect your rear vision? It shakes the image pretty fast. It's not gonna affect the safety, but if you want to say, like, if you want to see details, you're not gonna see them. So like I won't know what car is behind me, say like 100 feet from me. I won't know the make and model, maybe the color. But you know, it's just detail, nothing to, as I said, safety affecting. but as soon as you are on the clutch, everything stabilizes and you see everything fine. One of the rings, like those housings, well actually not housings, the rings around the housing, that is chrome. I had to replace because this bike was bumped against something and it started to rust and it kind of creased, which wasn't great, you know. And whatever I replaced it with had a little bump too. So evidently people, I don't know, I don't know how people do it. They don't take a great care of their bikes. They bump into stuff or something falls on the bike, like on the gas tank in the garage. Something hit that chrome ring too. I replaced that. So it has a less of a dent, but still has a dent. You can pull it out if you want. I don't bother. It's all right. Yeah, great bike. Great bike. I could probably ride it from coast to coast. Just get myself some stuff loaded up in those panniers. Strap some more bags onto the CC bar behind me, and I would enjoy myself. So if you want, I am not sure if it's gonna happen or not prior to me posting this video, this bike is for sale. Please contact me on the email on redonvfr@gmail.com. Once again, redonvfr@gmail.com, and inquire about the price. It's not horrific. It's a classic, but I'm not gonna strip you down. I've seen people overprice those things and underprice those things. I'm right in the middle. I think it's fair. You know, the options on this bike are absolutely terrific. I have not seen the panniers on those bikes at all, just this one. So if I sell this bike, I'm not gonna see panniers probably in my life whatsoever. And you will be getting a mechanically and very much visually and cosmetically pleasant bike to ride. But in any case, I won't bore you to death any longer. Alright, I should probably quit saying that, but my videos usually are more like informative instead of, or educational instead of entertaining. But I hope you learned something. If you want to purchase a bike like this, not mine, but something similar to it, like a CM400 in whatever variation, this is a great bike that will serve you well. In any case, once again, enjoy what you're doing. Safe rides. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and goodbye.